righty. Welcome in and welcome back, everybody, to Sports Prophet TV. This is the MLS Live podcast. As always, I'm your host, Cooper, and with me is my good friend Garrett at JSomeFooty. We are back in the green. Obviously, a slow start to the year, but we are officially up on the spreadsheet. We are profitable after 2 great weeks, 9-2 over our last 2 weeks, including some big plus money winners and back-to-back 2-unit winners. Notable because we are going to be releasing another 2-unit play on the show tonight. So make sure that you stick around for all the picks because we will be doing another official 2-unit release here on the show live. Garrett, how we doing?
Good, man. Good. It's been a good 3 weeks to bounce back after that rough start. But we said we knew what the show is capable of. We know what we do year in and year out. And so it's all about just fighting through the adversity. And now, like you said, 2 great weeks, a really nice run, which is probably why we have another 2-unit on the show tonight. Just going to stay in the flames while we're there. We're in a good vein. And just keep it rolling, man. And hopefully the good times continue this weekend.
Absolutely. I'm with it. Before we get into it, let's talk CONCACAF Champions Cup. We got as far as MLS versus MLS, got to be the biggest matchup of the entire tournament so far. LAFC at home hosting Inter Miami. You have any thoughts for that one?
Yeah, I don't touch a lot of CONCACAF Cup matches, mainly because I don't like Liga MX, and so I just steer clear of it. Although if you were on the under last night, that cashed easily for both games. No, so tonight, LAFC just got exposed last weekend. I think we saw the worst side of that defense, and I think that's something that Miami can exploit. We know what this Miami team is. They're going to score. I do think, though, that this Miami team is going to let a goal or two in potentially. And so you got a good price on both teams to score plus over 2.5 here. I don't do a lot of overs in CONCACAF at all, but this is a good little spot for it potentially, and what should be just a star-studded affair. I don't know if Messi's going to start. Lineups haven't come out yet, but coach said he's available. I have a sneaky suspicion he comes off the bench with it being the away match, and they save him, for the home leg if should they need it. I don't have a great lean on who wins here, but the price for Miami plus both teams to score as well is just too good right now. So I'm going to take about a 1/4 unit sprinkle on that. I think it was like plus 415, plus 420 somewhere. So I like that as well. So both teams to score plus over 2.5 is where I'm going to have my primary action, but I will have a little sprinkle on Miami to win plus both teams to score as well.
Yeah, I love the sprinkle there, given the odds. You said they were like north of plus 400. So absolutely could see, if Messi can take over any game. So 2-1, 2-1.
He came in as a sub last weekend and scored 3 minutes in. It's ridiculous. And we take for granted being able to watch somebody like that. It's just insane.
Absolutely. All righty. Well, let's get into it then. Let's go right over here, and we will start the show with our official sponsor, which is Bet105. They are at bet105.ag. I've got a link in the bio of this video, or the description, I should say. Bet105. So it's better at Bet105, and I'm not just saying that because it's on the screen. It actually is. They do not limit players. They offer easily the best odds in the industry. Reduced juice. I mean, they were dealing like minus 103 pick'ems the other day for March Madness. They're going to do it again. I think they did it yesterday for Premier League. No rollover requirements. Withdrawals are a piece of cake, easy cheesy. I can actually talk to real humans like customer support if you ever need anything. Very good group. Good friends with a couple of guys over there. So great book. And if you're interested in joining, use my referral code, which is Prophet. And you will get $50 on a deposit of $100, $50 free bet. Again, the bonuses and stuff, that's not really their calling card. The big thing is, like, for example, and I'll just give this out on the show because we were just talking about the game. I'm on Miami double chance in the CONCACAF Champions League game later tonight. They beat every other book by like 15 cents on that wager tonight. I got that at like minus 126. I think that line has moved in general across all books, but earlier in the day, like that was like 14 or 15 cents better than anywhere else. Their prices are just better. So check out Bet 105. Really, really, really solid book. All right, here we go. Getting into the slates. We've got Atlanta United, and we're going to have back-to-back plays on this game. Garrett, I'll let you lead us off.
Yeah, man. It's Atlanta, and this is a new overs cash cow, apparently, is what we're turning into. I mean, they treated us to a 7-goal affair last weekend. Just awesome. I mean, like that's just fun to watch. But through four home games, I should say, Atlanta games are averaging over right around 3.75 goals a game. When you look at their like actual stats and analytics, they're pretty mid, both for their attack and defense regarding Atlanta. But they have X factors on both sides of the ball that I think help this play. On defense, I mean, I hate to say it, but 40-year-old Brad Guzan is bottom third in save percentage with a sub 67%. He's not actually preventing any goals analytically. Like he's faced 11 expected goals on target and has conceded 11. So it's just nothing. There's nothing special this year. I mean, he's 40 and he's not facing Miami. Of course, Brad comes out and plays like Superman when he faces Miami. And then on the attack, it's what's turning into our love child, Latte Loth, who sits in a tie for second in the league scoring with 5 goals. So thumbs up for our golden boot early in the season. Now, this Dallas attack is actually top 10 right now in expected goals. Their defense isn't bad, but they've gotten to 3 or more goals in 2 of their last 3 road games, or in 2 of their 3 road games. They've only had 3 this season so far. And the one that didn't get to that total was versus just a sad Real Salt Lake side in Salt Lake, so a little bit of elevation. And there was a red card in the 23rd minute with their striker getting sent off. We know who runs Dallas through 9. They've got, Musa and Acosta have 8 goal contributions combined. Dallas has only scored 9 goals this season. So, like, there is a clear funnel there in the offense between who's going to create goal scoring opportunities. In fact, Musa's to score assist price is pretty nice right now. We'll get into that later. And Latte Loth, he's plus money to score. I think that's ridiculous too. But so yeah, I'm with Atlanta being at home, Dallas having the attack they have with those 2 key players. Over 3 here is going to be minus 108, and that's what I'm going to attack here. I'm going a little more conservative with the hard 3. If you want to do both teams to score plus over 2.5, I don't hate that either. But yeah, that's where we're falling on the first play of the show.
Yeah, I like it. I'm going to kind of segue into mine, but yeah, this Atlanta team, and we watched them play the first couple of games of the year, and we were like, these chances have got to start turning into goals. Last game, they definitely did start turning into goals. FC Dallas, they were very clearly going to be an overs team from basically the drop, right? Like we both kind of highlighted that and put our finger on that situation. Good to see Leo Chu getting involved and scoring a goal for Dallas. That gives them a front 3 of Leo Chu, Acosta, and Musa. Not exactly a front 3, but those are your 3-man guys up there for Dallas, which is nice. I don't necessarily trust either of these back lines. So I think we get an open game. I think we're going to get chances. So I do like the over here, but I'll segue right into mine, which is going to be our second play of the show. And I'm going to take Atlanta money line plus the over 1.5 goals on the combo market at minus 102. I think Dallas likely contributes here. Don't get me wrong, but I also think they could get absolutely eviscerated by Atlanta. I think that I think the switch kind of flipped a little bit when they came back from, down 3-1 against NYCFC last game. I watched that game. I think we've said first couple of weeks, this attack is unbelievably talented. They need to gel. I think they're starting to gel now. I think Atlanta could easily score 3 or 4 by themselves. I mean, I would not be shocked to see Atlanta 4-1. Like it would not shock me because when this FC Dallas team kind of gets down and lets one in, I mean, it can be a snowball effect. So I'm going to trust Atlanta here, even though I kind of talked about, I don't know if they're trustworthy, but I do think something flipped in that game. I think something gelled. So gonna rock with the home side here on the money line plus the over 1.5.
A switch flipped. They gelled, and they still almost did not win that game last weekend.
Right.
The bonus here is Atlanta being at home. Atlanta's just always better at home, as are most MLS sides. So no, I like this way of getting off of that money line if you really like this Atlanta side, because I can guarantee you they're probably letting one in, at least, and so they're going to need two to win probably at least. So I mean, 4-1, that's bold, because like if they get to 4-1, it could easily come to be like 4-3, just like last week. That defense is rough, but I do like Atlanta here at home versus Dallas. So I agree. I think this is a good way. This or both teams to score, like any way you want to mess with that Atlanta money line. I just expect goals here. So I think you can just like we're doing, increase your value here with money line plus something, either over 1.5, both teams to score, add a little bit to it to get you off of that juice. Because I'll be honest, man, with a team that can leak like that, it doesn't feel good paying minus 135, minus 140 money line.
Right.
It's just not economical here for this game. But no, I like this.
Yeah, I'm aligned with you. That's why we're using the combo here. All righty. On to our next one. Philadelphia and Orlando. Already a rematch of a game that's been played in the short season.
Yeah, and that's partly why we like the over 3 here as well. It's going to be a goals palooza game, or show, I should say. And so we're going to go the over 3 here. The season opener between these two saw 6 goals. 4 of 6 Philly games have gotten to 3 or more, and all 6 of Orlando's have hit that number so far this season. In terms of expected goals, these teams are second and third in the league. So with the offenses clicking so far, getting a little push protection here on the 3, with it being just shy of even money. That's again why I decided to go with the over 3 route here instead of the both teams to score plus over 2.5. This price is just really, really good for 2 really good offenses right now. Yeah, this is one I had circled on early in my process, like when I was going through games and handicapping. Circled this over pretty quickly, dove in more. Like I said, loved it. Based on what we're looking at right now, it's just a good price, man. That's a good price for an over 3.
Yeah, it is a good price, and I don't necessarily have any real reason to think that we wouldn't get more of what we had in that first game. I mean, heck, I looked at Philly team total here. I looked at the over. I looked at both teams to score over 2.5 at plus money. I looked at a lot of stuff, goals related in this game. Probably even some. I haven't dug into player props, but I know you have, and there's some good player props in this game as well. No reason to think that this shouldn't be an open game. Philadelphia is playing that open brand this year. That they're basically scoring goals or losing. And Orlando City was basically more of the same. Like that's one of the teams we wrote down as an overs team too. So feels and I don't want to jinx it, but it feels like one of those with your 3. It's a push worst case because barring 10 big missed chances or something ridiculous. But I think we get an open game here. All right. On to our next one. New York Red Bull hosting Chicago Fire. This one, I will just say, if you told me before the season, that I would be backing Chicago to score a goal on the road against New York Red Bull, I would have probably not believed you or myself, whoever was telling me that. But I'm going to do it. I think it's and it's a good price. It's the best price both teams to score, or maybe the second best. It's one of the best price, if not the best, both teams to score of the entire slate. And New York Red Bull, they haven't been as elite defensively this year. They have been the 14th best in expected goals allowed. They're usually like top 2 or 3. Like they're usually elite defensively. So far, it's obviously been a short sample size, but they haven't been quite that elite. Chicago has scored in every single game this season. Jonathan Bamba has been really good for that attack. He's actually provided a lot of good service as well as playmaking ability. You kind of called that going into the season. You thought that he would be as advertised, and he pretty much has. I do kind of, the only like tiny concern that I have is I don't know if Gutierrez plays, because he had like some like muscle strain or something when he got called up with the national team, and then he wasn't available for their last game. I think he's probably available at least off the bench for this one. But even still, I think both teams score here. I don't think New York Red Bull are quite as resolute defensively. I don't think they're quite that brick wall that we've seen defensively this season. And I think that Chicago can find a way here. And obviously, Chicago's not stopping Red Bull from scoring at home. So kind of a gut play, but let's run it.
Yeah, the price here is why I don't just like, well, I'm not like just scared off of this, right? Because you're actually not eating much juice here. This probably is the best both teams to score line of the slate in terms of cheapest, because you just don't get MLS both teams to score lines that are playable that often. I think this is a sneaky play. Like Chicago's attack has been much better than I thought it would be, even with the Bamba addition. What we talked about last season, Kuipers just needs service. Like if he can find somebody who can provide him service on a regular basis, he'll be good. He just doesn't create his own shot, right? Gutierrez is starting to, I mean, we've liked the kid for a while, but he's starting to really grow into his own. Bamba's added another dimension there. And the Chicago attack is like 7th in the league right now in expected goals. Surprising to me. So I like the Chicago attack. I don't know what to make of this Red Bulls. I mean, they're pretty banged up right now, not with the studs, but a lot of depth pieces, a lot of guys who would come off the bench and like fill in some roles have been banged up to start the season. I think that's actually hurt them. We wanted their attack to get going. We talked about it, I think, a few shows back, where the attack was just slow coming out of the gates. But I mean, they've gotten 5 goals in the last 3 games. So they're starting to get things clicking a little bit. I still will die on the hill that Choupo-Moting is no good. But that's neither here nor there. You got Forsberg. He's gonna get off some wicked shots. He's gonna help create. Yeah, 110. Like this isn't a bad look. I think this is kind of sneaky. Right? In fact, I mean, we've seen Red Bulls when they play not even great attacks. They gave up 1 to Toronto. They gave up 2 to New England, and New England doesn't have anybody in attack. So yeah, I think they're could be right for the picking right now to get one. This might even, I don't know, man. This might even end up being a 1-1 draw. Like I'm just trying to think about whether Red Bulls. I like the Red Bulls, but yeah, I think we might see a 1-1 draw here.
Yeah, I looked at Red Bull and I mean, I know it's Chicago, but I'm not gonna lay the juice in this situation. A 1-1 wouldn't shock me. I mean, that wouldn't shock me either. All right, here we go. Gonna do our 2-unit release up next. It involves the Quakes, San Jose hosting DC United. We've hit our last 2, the last 2 weeks. I think we've only had 2 so far, right?
Yeah, we've only had 2. We've had one each of the past 2 weekends. They've both come home. So yeah, we're gonna try to keep it rolling here. And again, man, like this is just a theme. We're just taking the over 3 here again. And I wasn't initially on this for 2 units, but it was after I dove in and started really looking at the numbers and everything. I was like, I like this spot a lot. I think I mentioned San Jose last week saying that they were number 1 in both expected goals and expected goals allowed.
Yep.
So fast forward a week now, and we saw some offenses past San Jose, but they still sit 5th in expected goals, still the worst expected goals allowed in the league. And those analytics aren't necessarily showing up in their games yet. They're underperforming on their expected goals. And to be honest, their defense is actually really overperforming right now. They should have let in quite a few more goals in already than they have. DC United's defense just sneaks into the top 10 worst in terms of expected goals allowed, but their attack isn't terrible. And I think, and I'm going to give this DC United team a little credit. The attack is better than what I expected it to be. It should have still been the focus on Benteke, which it is, but they really are like in the middle of a rebuild, right? Trying to tear some of this team down, get some of these bloated contracts off, and just kind of reset. And so the fact that they're still creating as much as they are does impress me a little bit. I mean, they've got a really healthy 9.9 expected goals through 6 games. I'm not mad at that at all. So again, I think there's the variance here of what this end result is in terms of when loss or draw. I think varies widely because San Jose is both creating opportunities and giving up a ton of chances. However, though, that just smells like goals to me, which is why I'm just going to go ahead and fire 2 units on this at minus 111. I can't see this line staying at it at this price. So grabbing it now for 2 units. And yeah, man, this is just giving me just massive goal vibes. I mean, Benteke is plus money to score here. I know he's on the road, but it's Benteke. Like, I don't think he should ever be plus money against anybody now. He's already shown between last year and now, like, you just don't do that. It's just goals, man. There's goals here.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And I personally prefer the over 3 to like a both teams to score over 2.5 because um, neither of these teams are necessarily to be trusted. So a 3-0 either way, like it's not like it
Oh yeah,
couldn't happen.
either
Yeah,
one of these sides could implode. Like that. That's 100% in the cards.
yeah. So definitely playing the number itself instead of a both teams to score over 2.5. That's definitely the way I would go as well. I think DC United is starting to figure out that they just need to put the ball on a platter for Benteke again. I don't know why that's ever been hard to figure out, but they kind of started the season like they forgot about that, and they've kind of gotten back to it, at least tactically, which is nice to see. I haven't watched the Quakes much. I mean, I've watched them some. I've watched, obviously all the teams at this point, or I wouldn't be any good at handicapping the league, but I haven't watched them as much as I've watched other teams. Other than the numbers, I don't have a great feel for them, but I would expect an open game here. So hopefully
Well,
two.
they're running 2 forwards primarily. And so I think we talked about this too, because when they started the season, now it was Arango and Martinez has been coming off the bench a little bit, coming back from a slight injury. Arango may or may not play, but I don't actually lean on him heavily here because of just how this offense is built, how Bruce has built this. When you run 2 forwards, you're going to just be a man down in transition, and that's where they're getting burned. That's why they're giving up so many opportunities. I mean, Daniel's playing, their goalkeeper is playing great. Like, they would be giving up a lot more goals if it wasn't for him. But that play just can't continue when you're
Yeah.
giving up that many chances over and over and over again. So yeah, I think they're going to be front loaded in attack and be caught in transition. And Benteke can still run. Like, I'm not saying he's like a cheetah, but that man's still going to work for those goals.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this is just this lines up really well.
Fantastic. All right, there it is. There is our 2-unit release going for 3 straight. We've got more though, so make sure you stick around. We've got a combo play here, and then obviously we're going to talk some player props in the show.
So, yep, we got a combo play. We had a nice plus 150, I think 5 hit last week.
Yep.
So that's always good. And I had to counterbalance all these overs, right? So I've got a Houston attack that's just abysmal. Hosting LAFC, even though LAFC play tonight. I'm gonna go with Houston team total under 1.5 for the first leg. It's just about 15 or 20 cents outside of my juice range. And so I'm not playing it straight. But Houston have one of the worst attacks in the league right now. And it's because they have no speed up top. Inali and Keonis are still hurt. And
Yep.
without them, there's just no pace for this Houston side. It makes them incredibly easy to defend because they cannot counter you. They cannot counterattack you. You're always going to be able to catch up with the ball. And they just don't have a proven playmaker who can get them out of a spot like that, right? Not just speed, but somebody who can actually play the ball into space and make it work. They don't have a good 10, anything like that.
They don't.
LAFC, and more important, Hugo Lloris looked rough last week. If you watch that game, you know. But their defense hasn't been disastrous on the whole this season. And I just can't stress how not threatening Houston is right now. Like, it's just, they haven't scored 2 in any game this season. I think they're right now sitting at 5.6 expected goals or something. So less than a goal a game right now.
No.
It's just not good, man. Like, honestly, for Houston team total to hit here, it's going to take like some set piece magic, a corner, a penalty kick, something like that to get them over the line. So I don't have any problem backing LAFC's defense here to keep Houston in check. And then we're going to add it to one of my favorite derbies in the league outside of El Trafico, Sporting KC versus St. Louis. Vermees is out. And that's actually what encouraged me here to bring this play. Even as bad as these 6 games have been to start the season for Kansas City, both teams to score has still gotten home in 4 of 6 games. The St. Louis attack is questionable. It analytically, it's not great. But this is one of the best rivalry games in the league. We've been on overs in this matchup quite a bit historically. And while I'm not overly confident on like that we see goals here, like where we get I think it's the total's at 2.75. So while I'm not overly confident we get to 3, this game's going to bring out like the most of these two sides. And so I 100% see 1-1. I don't know if KC really gets the full new manager bounce because letting Vermees go is just different, right? It's not just letting go of a coach who's not working out. We're talking about the 4th longest tenured coach in the world at the time when he was released, not just in MLS. Like there was only 3 other coaches who'd been with their team longer in professional soccer. So it's going to have an impact here. However, it is going to galvanize. And so I expect KC to get one here at home, even though St. Louis's defense has been well. And I think that's why St. Louis is going to answer, is because their defense holds up. I don't think they're going to get ran out. So they're going to be in this game, which is why I prefer both teams to score as opposed to an over here.
Yeah. Okay. So, starting with the Houston situation, yeah, no juice in that attack whatsoever. Ponce has, I hate to call anybody a flop, because again, like they don't have any speed, right? And they're already kind of set up conservatively to begin with. But he hasn't really, blown the roof off or anything. And yeah, they're right as of now. They're not looking great. So I'm with you there on the team total under for a parlay piece. The SKC St. Louis rivalry, it's almost just a staple of the show. I mean, at this point, because it's been such a good one. Looking back, I mean, 7 of 8. They've played each other 8 times, right? 7 of 8 have had both teams to score, and the only one that didn't have both teams to score was the first ever match that was 4-0. So they've almost all had goals. 7 of 8 have had both teams to score. It's one of those you just got to ride until the wheels fall off, and if the wheels fall off this time, then so be it, because we've made hay with that one. But that'll be a fun one. That'll be a fun one. Is
And honestly, I wasn't playing this game until Vermees was let go, because like we've been saying it since last season. Like he's got to go. He's got to go. And I don't want to undermine what Vermees has meant both to Kansas City and to MLS at large. He has changed this sport for the better in both the US and in Kansas City. I hope his legacy is just that, and like he deserves a statue in Kansas City. Like he's a good coach, or he was a good coach. He's done great things for Kansas City. It was just time to end it, and it was just very hard, I guess, for this team to come to that conclusion because of what he's meant to the city and the team. But that being said, him now being gone is like, that's the galvanizing action I needed to be able to jump into this game.
Well, yeah, and I'm glad you said that. I mean, you know, Bill Belichick didn't have a great last couple of years in New England. He's still viewed, you know, as the best coach ever. So, and he'll have a statue. So same thing for Vermees. I mean, he's done so much for that organization. He deserves to be. And I think it wasn't ugly. Like it wasn't. I think it was handled about as well.
When the fan groups are starting to send in letters saying we need the coach gone, it's not pretty.
Well, it's never going to be pretty, but I mean, I still think he'll be viewed with, you know, in the right light in the long run. All right, cool. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 officials, and then we're going to get to some player props, bonus picks for the show. We've only done it once this year. It went well. They won't count towards the official record, but it's still fun, and we're still going to fire some off here.
Jacob's bringing in the good juju to the chat.
Oh man,
he added the Chicago both teams to score to a parlay and cash nicely. So hopefully Chicago does it again this week, because we're rolling it again. So
yes, sir. Love to see that. Give us the good juju.
We're into props now.
Yeah, can you see the screen?
So this is just something that just sticks out to me in a couple of games, a couple of spots I like. We got Musa sitting there. I'm not sure if the domestic books have it yet, but for offshore books, I've seen a price of around plus 150 to score or assist, and he's leading the team in goal contributions right now. We just talked about how there's a funnel in Dallas between him and Acosta. And when your 9 is both getting goals and assists, that price is just too good to pass up at that point. So if you're looking for some props, I'm doing a half unit on these. I don't go big on props. They're not like my bread and butter, but when I find a good spot, I'm absolutely going to attack it. And so if you can get Musa to score or assist at plus money, I'm okay with like +1 all the way down to plus 110. If you can get him at plus money, that is a good shout this week, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Are you hearing me okay? Because you're a little choppy.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, on to our next one.
So this is probably my favorite look of the weekend when it comes to props. Ojeda is just on fire to start the season. He was great last season, and it just looks like he's instantly leveled up. He's had a goal contribution in every game but one this season. We're on the over here, and you're going to get him to score or assist at plus 140 on offshore. Again, domestic lines will probably come in closer to late Thursday, early Friday, probably for the score or assist on a lot of the books. Again, if this is plus money, I have no problem firing here. I'm going to be on it for half unit again. But this dude is just red hot. He's the Human Torch right now in terms of goal contributions. And I'm just going to stay in the flames, man. This Orlando team is just – the attack is good. This number is just too good to pass up.
Absolutely. I'm with you there. He's doing everything for Orlando right now. All right. All right, back to us. I have two more on here. I didn't make graphics for them, but there were two more that we had written down.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, like you can just basically chalk these guys up every week right now if they're plus money. Benteke for DC United is somewhere between even money and plus 120. Again, we like goals there. I'm going to fire on that anytime he's plus money. He's sitting fourth right now in the league, or he's sitting with 4 goals right now in the league. That's just 2 off the Golden Boot lead at the time. And then Latte Loth, again, he's plus money. At home, it just should not be plus money. So if you're going to get it at even to plus 120 again, I'm okay firing on that as well. Like those are just guys that you're just going to ride until those prices correct. So those 2 guys, you can fire them.
Absolutely. Real quick, we'll answer this one more time. We did talk about it at the beginning of the show. LAFC enter Miami for the CONCACAF Champions League game tonight. Garrett gave out both teams to score and over 2.5, and then a sprinkle on Miami to win and both teams to score. I like Miami. Double chance is probably not playable anymore, but that's
that thing is juiced, brother.
It's juice now.
Yeah. You like dude, minus 155, minus 160.
Yeah, dude. Bet 105 was dealing like minus 126 this morning. So I was like, don't mind if I do.
Yeah, we both lean Miami and some goals. So however you want to build that up, that's where our lean is. And then to answer Kirk real quick, yes, that is score or assist. For them to have a shot on target, that price is going to be astronomical. So that's not playable, but score or assist for Musa and Ojeda.
Sweet. All righty. Well, gave out some more 9 and 2 the last 2 weeks. So hopefully we can keep that going. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're still watching, make sure you like the video. Helps other people see it. And special thanks to everybody that's tuning in tonight live. It's always fun to see the folks tuning in live, and it benefits you too, because you get the best prices, you get the bets in before the lines move, and if you've watched the show before, you know the lines will move. So, Garrett, anything?
Trying to look at what Jacob's saying. If Messi's in and you can get him to score at plus 140, if I'm assuming that's what that is, yes, you take that.
Is that right?
I'm just assuming. I know he's in, he's starting. If that is his anytime goal scorer number at plus 140, then yes, you take that.
Well, let me look, because I can tell you right now. All right. Messi is plus 135. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's a play.
90 minutes of Messi on the field. Yeah, we'll take that.
I don't know if he goes 90, but I mean, all he needs is a minute.
True.
One good touch. So, we saw LAFC get embarrassed a little bit last week. And so, yes, at plus 140. Now, granted, I don't love it going West Coast, but it's Messi, man. Like, why is Messi ever plus money to score? That's just silly.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'll be taking that myself. All righty, folks. Well, that does it for us. I should be I'm having a baby tomorrow, so I'll probably be like not on Twitter so much, but I will be back absolutely Wednesday for next week's game. So best of luck to everybody. And Garrett, thanks as always, brother. And I'll see you next week.
Awesome, man. Congratulations. Happy for you. Let's have some new baby magic this weekend on the bets. So best of luck to whatever you guys are on as well. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks, Garrett. Thanks, guys. See you next week.